How y'all doing, friends and families? Your boy back with another video on custom keyboard, with today's guest being the latecomer of my backlog. It is also a 65% keyboard and it's the Choice65. The Choice65 was initially announced earlier than the new 65. Go watch that video if you haven't already. And I hop onto it since the price point is what drawn me in from the get-go. So the result? My pocket has a big hole thanks to sinking all that cash into these two boards. The brand behind it is called Velocifier, and their website also had some other group buy boards, keyboards, accessories, you know, the usual keyboard vendor guy. So basically when I got the package, it comes in this simple cardboard box, and when you open it up, the box is quite pretty and it's like a two-piece cardboard box. You just kind of lift it off and you get some accessories. These are your extra screws, and also these are some of the keyboard feet, and there's certain strips. I don't know what they are for, because I think that this is not for the mounting, as it uses another kind of gasket mounting, but I'll go into that later. And this is basically the board. The board comes in this kind of leather bag, and the keyboard kit just kind of tucked nicely into it. So yeah, this is kind of special in regards to the usual black box kind of thing. So yeah, also I have to mention that you also get foams, the mid plate foam and the gasket top foam, and also you get the plate and the IXP foam as well. So the board, at least from the first impression after reading its specs on the website, it is very China-esque. I say that because the custom keyboard meta there is basically 1.2mm PCB with flex cuts if possible and lots of foams. And the aspect of foam is further emphasized through its implementation of gasket mount. I'll elaborate further as we take apart the thing for a quick look. So you have the 6 screws at the bottom side, and we'll take that apart first. So after taking it apart, this is just your bottom case. You're supposed to have a piece of case foam here, and you have one piece of like thin ESD film to prevent your PCB from shorting out, and you got the daughter port. Okay, for the plate and the PCB, you can see that I installed the mid plate foam as in here, and it's not like I had a change in heart or anything, but I have to, since the gasket mount is applied using this mid plate foam that kind of extend outwards to cover the entire casing of the keyboard. And you even have to use this thing, which is the top foam, as they say, which is also pour-on but thinner. Kind of a weird way to do it, but with this they say that the even distribution of force can be achieved, since there's no like left out parts like your standard like gasket socks, gasket nubs or anything. But looking from the other side, this means that the only optional choice that you can pick is whether you want to use the case foam or not. As mentioned before, the default plate is PC plate, so I have an add-on alu plate installed with some SP Star Meteor Orange switches. These are tactiles with 57g bottom out, and specifically with the blue housing, and I'm not sure which color means which revision, but it seems like these are the slightly older ones, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. And they're loop and film. As for steps, TX Rev 3. Keycaps wise, I'll just throw in a simple set of beige theme IFA set to match the subtle feel of the blue. So let's set it up and see what it sounds. So the sound profile is kind of within my expectation. A little bit of foamy and a bit of the switch sound, as I didn't use the IXP foam. And the difference between using it and not using the case foam when I test it myself at home is noticeable, albeit not significantly, but I still think that it's quite subjective, depends on what kind of switch you use. But I have to say the spacebar is quite slappy though. Since the PCB is 1.2mm, so I suggest that you add 1 or 2 layers of tape mod to further amplify the sound a bit. The nature of the Meteor Orange, however, which touted as a premium version of MX Brown by some people, creates a rather soft sound even when I'm using the alu plate and is very neat as it wants to both clack and talk, so I don't know what it is trying to do. So I feel like if you just slap a set of long posts, especially if you're using the default PC plate, it can be really good. The funny thing also comes from the switch themselves, is I feel there's a little tick in the spacebar which does not exist if I just replace it with another linear switch like MX Black. So bear in mind, you just don't go and fix something that is not broken if you can, well I mean your steps. Just a quick tip, if you have problems with your spacebar being too tall for the steps, which can occur in certain cases when you're using the 1.2mm PCB and you end up seeing them seesawing from left to right, you can just simply fix it by stuffing a bit of cotton inside the stem cavity which the hose meets the stem housing of the steps, and it is quite soft and flexible and you can just adjust it accordingly. So in general, I would say that the Choice65 did a great job at the price point it is aiming for at 560 ringgits plus another 70 for the extra alu plate, which is about the same as the Neo 65 for my own purchase at least. Bruh, why you fall down? Both boards, they are heading towards different side of the spectrum, with the Neo going full clack while the Choice is about the mid-range and slightly into the talk part. But I end up liking a Neo a bit more, although I would say that the Choice65 would be accessible choice, haha, for a lot of people because it is announced earlier, so I don't blame you if you just jump the ship like I did. But if you manage to find both boards in the second-hand market due to people letting them go, you can just kind of pick one based on your sound preference. But of course, the Choice65 has its own advantage too. It is definitely heavier overall thanks to its two-piece construction and the use of JST cable instead of ribbon cable, which I prefer, makes it less likely to be broken upon assembly. However, I think that the pure value proposition sucks a bit due to the absence of things like USB cable, switch and keycap puller. These are kind of the standard things, and it also doesn't come with a set of steps which the Neo did. So the short story, if you like your traditional foamy gasket mounted board with a mount twist, you can go for this board, no problem. So that's all for this video. If you're also one of the group buyers of the Choice65, let me know how you build yours, and if there's any question, leave them down in the comments below. Peace!